Well, what the heck is going on out there? Oh, hey! Yup, it's still winter. Guys, we have the out the window weather update to start off the video. It's very wintry out there. Let's get inside and check on the progress of the indoor plants. Do. All right, guys, let's take a look. Look at this absolute beauty. So we've got a few things to go over today. It's just going to be a quick video, quick update. The plant is looking fantastic. This is all going to plan. So we have the plant kind of boxing in the light. If you've been following along with my episodes, this is a giant watermelon plant here. I'm growing for an indoor winter growing competition. If you're new to these videos, I do one every Sunday. I'm not sure if I will keep doing them every Sunday when there's nothing happening, but it's still in the exciting phase. So look right here, see, we got all the vines coming up toward the light. We're kind of boxing in the light to get the most efficiency we can out of these two 320 watt farm light LEDs. So, and everything's going good. I have no complaints. Everything's going to plan. The foliage looks great. I've switched to mostly foliar water spray and just not feeding, but I'm doing just foliar spray water because now that the growth, I've stopped most of the growth. There's still a few vines growing, but see, all of these I've stopped. So the food is traveling, through the plant, the nutrients, to the ends of these vines. And once I see that they're already getting some nice darker color, then I'm backing off the food, because I don't need a whole bunch of food to get locked up in the end of these vines, like be harmful on the leaves. So now that, see, you can see a lot less like of that light green from last video. So the food's nice and full of food. So now it's time to dial back a little. So I give it, giving it just well water with it has lots of little minerals in it, of course. So I do that every day, a few times a day, and it's been working good. So we want to make sure at this point not to do anything drastic. I did feed the soil today. The pot's buried over there. I did feed there, but I haven't been feeding every time there. I'm also switching to just water, maybe every other, or I'll do, it needs to be watered every single day. Actually, I'm watering twice a day now, but I'm splitting it up. So I do 2.5 gallons, and then later in the day, I'll do another 2.5 gallons, and this plant is drinking that. So there's no reason to be putting food in every single one of them cans, because we could easily get a buildup of some kind of a salt or something, and some kind of nutrient lockup could happen. So you gotta be kind of careful with a huge plant indoors like this. That's my strategy anyway. But look at this, guys. Time for the exciting moment. We can see a much bigger bulge here than last week. Are you guys ready? Oh my gosh, look at this amazing growth we've gotten. And honestly, I was very scared that the shape was gonna get worse. So we've had this pear-shaped the whole time from the start. But I was actually nervous that this front section would stay really small, and this would keep getting bigger, and this would get all wrinkled and weird up here like it wasn't pollinated up here. But what's cool is it's actually almost evening out. It's all growing at the same rate, like it's keeping its shape. So remember in the last video, I said I was a little worried about a dill ring forming right here, which is kind of like a crease. That's doesn't even look like it's gonna be an issue anymore. It's like, it's exact shape. If you over blow up a birthday balloon, they kind of bulge out like that. So it's so cool. And it's got some extra mass over here on this side. And now it is got some weight to it, guys. So I kind of forget what we were at last video. Were we at 12 pounds or something? We are way over 20 pounds now. So it's getting real. So we're trying to win the competition by having the biggest one that's entered in the competition. But as a secondary goal, I'm trying to get to the world record weight, which is from last year, 67 pounds. So we need 68 pounds, and we're already We're just 3 weeks old and we're already over 20 pounds. We have over a 40-inch circumference now. So I measure that every day, gaining about 1.5 inches per day in circumference. So that's good. Yeah, can't complain. So that's the good news, guys. And I'm happy because the watermelon was my favorite category and my main project. And that's where all the goods happening. So let's see the second best thing. From here on, the news is not as good, but let's go to grow chamber number 2 and check on the giant beet. Okay, guys, what's going on over here? Hello? Oh, it's right there. Hey, all right. So can you guys see? Here's the giant beet. This is the second category that we're growing. And this is kind of goofy. So I feel like this plant is super susceptible to nutrients that I give it, or no nutrients. It's just weird. There's almost seems like there's an imbalance or something because the leaves, I actually flushed the pot yesterday. So see how there's tons of water down there? I poured a whole bunch of water in here, made sure it wasn't ice cold, and let it drain through to flush it out. I kind of want a reset. Try to flush out the nutrients in case there's some kind of buildup or lockout. And then I'm keeping the leaves real hydrated because it first was looking kind of droopy and yellowish. Not yellow, but losing its vibrant, good color. So I fed it pretty normal for what I do, you know. I think I gave it some fish, some seaweed, and a little bit, I think, Foliage Pro, Super Thrive, something like that. But normal amount, and it acted weird. The leaves got kind of droopy and dehydrated, like I shocked it or something. So I'm gonna be real chill on now that I flushed it, it's looking fine. I'm gonna be really chill on how much I feed it. So I might just foliar feed it from now on and not feed the soil anymore, you know. So, but the good news, the beet, can you guys see it? It's huge. It's going to be hard to see on there, but look, there's a tape measure around it. It's at 16.5 inches around. I don't remember what it was last week. It was a lot smaller than that last week. So we have a beautiful, big, giant beet growing. So as long as I can get the foliage figured out, and keep the plant happy, we're going to continue that trend. So I hope that's the case. If I have to, I will maybe remove a little bit foliage and let the plant recover with its brand new foliage. Because if the plant is struggling with some issue and it has a lot of foliage to keep alive and healthy, we can maybe make it recover faster by cutting some back. So just a thought, I guess. But we could very well be in the lead also with the beet. I have not seen a pollinated melon yet from anyone, and I haven't seen like a forming beet really. But maybe most people are probably not posting, you know, like since I have the YouTube channel. But it's going really good, guys. Now for the really sad news. This was the medium news. Pretty good though. That beet is massive. The tomato, I pulled the tomato out. So we were growing a third category, the giant tomato. That also struggled the whole year to keep the leaves from, you know, being kind of wacky, like it had something in it. I'm almost wondering, the beet kind of had struggles too. I hate to blame it on something, but I'm going to be cautious of this budget potting mix from Menards. It's the Sunshine Mix, and I don't know. I'm a little concerned that there might be a little weird imbalance or pH imbalance or something, but maybe that's just not the case. But the watermelon seems to really like it, so I would have no problem using Sunshine Mix from Menards next year if I do watermelon again. But otherwise, it might be something else that I'm doing. But I always feed pretty gentle. But I just decided to save on the energy cost. The tomato plant was colossal. I threw it out the window. Actually, it's probably sitting out there. I had to cut it into chunks. It was like a little tree. It's been snowing. Hey, where'd it go? Oh, there's some of it. That's a weird thing. I should have put it on the top of my driveway in a pot, and people driving by would be like, confused. All right, guys. That's the update. Very happy. We got excellent news with Melanie is the name of this melon, by the way. Excellent news here, and the beet's getting huge. So as long as I can address that kind of floppy foliage, we have a very good chance at that category as well. And kind of a fun little extra, there's no named world record for giant beet. So we're going to, whoever wins this competition, we're going to kind of have an unofficial new world record, because Guinness doesn't always like to deal with little side categories like indoor, outdoor. So we'll just have to keep the record ourselves as an unofficial record. So if we win giant beet, it's gonna be the new world record, because there's no other info on it. So all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm pretty sure I'll post next week, but otherwise I'll do every other week if nothing much is changing. But we're obviously gonna be bigger by next week, and we're gonna slowly work from 20 pounds up to 68 pounds. I hope. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.